Yosemite Church, John here, and today for our devotional, we're going to continue to look at some of these God is statements, right? On Monday, we had the statement, God is love. On Tuesday, we fleshed out more what it means to practice thanksgiving and looked at the statement, God is my provision. Well, today, we're going to flesh out the statement, God is with me. Or in other words, we have a relational God. Indeed, no matter where you are in your walk with Christ, sometimes it's easy to fall into the trap of not feeling like I'm close enough to God. Now, this might be because we don't feel like God hears us, or that, right, we really hear God. Or it could be just because we don't know how yet to relate with God. We've just started this journey and we don't know where we should be. But when we look to our passage this week of Jacob and him wrestling the angel, we can really kind of start to pull out some things that will hopefully be beneficial for us. See, we see Jacob struggling with whether or not God is in the midst of his problems, despite the fact that God is abundantly showing his presence to Jacob. Not only, right, the very beginning of the journey, he gets something that is kind of rare to many of us. He gets an encounter with the God where he sees him at the top of the ladder. Then, as we come into the Jacob wrestling the angel story, we see that Jacob sees angels that are there with him. And he gets an assurance that, like, okay, God is still with me. Yet despite this, Jacob doubts. Now, perhaps when we are facing potential death by brother, it is okay to just, take some time to make sure. However, what we want to focus on today is not that Jacob needed time to get ready. It's that the Lord is okay with taking time with us to make sure that we know he is with us. See, God is in no rush in walking with us. He meets us where we are and how we need. As frustrating as this can be, ultimately, it's the beauty of relationship. The journey growing with God is what God enjoys so much. In other words, God wants to get to know us. He wants to grow in relationship with us. And he wants to grow in trust with us. All that he might love us more, and so that we might love him more. In doing this, Jacob follows that exact pattern. And so we see God do exactly what Jacob needed instead of what Jacob wanted. Jacob lamented, Lord, bless me. God wrestled him. Jacob wouldn't let go until he said, Lord, can just bless me, and God renamed him. But the reality of the story here points to us that God is taking each step with us, and he's relating with us how we need in each moment. And oftentimes, it is our own expectations that puts on top of God how he should act, instead of us looking to God to see how he acts. See, God is ready to take each step with us. We would benefit to prepare ourselves to do the same, to take each step with God. In other words, Christians, we don't have a goal in our walk with God other than to become more like him. Instead, right, our goal is to forever grow in relationship. Our takeaway then is this. Indeed, if God is with us, what we want to be careful of is, first and foremost, don't compare your relationship with God to others. Your relationship with God is unique to you and him. Indeed, in Galatians, Paul tells us, do not compare. Do not compare your walk with others. God is with you, and you want to make sure you take the steps that you need to take to be with God. But Don't get caught up in how other people's stories are unfolding. Instead, be happy for them. Seek to lift them up and love them, but do not compare your place in your walk with theirs. For there is no gain in comparison. Your walk is your own. No matter where you are in your journey with the Lord, today take some time to enjoy the journey you've had with the Lord. Because it's a beautiful thing, your story. And it's a beautiful thing that your story is not mine, nor mine yours. But be happy and be joyful that today God is with you.